Welcome back to the Anime Therapy Podcast, episode 14. Welcome back, everyone. Matt, what's up?
Not much, man. New Year, same me. You know,
Yeah.
still a weeb, still watching anime. You know, we out here.
Yep. Same shit, different year for me.
That's right.
I do at some point in the future want to try out that experiment of sitting on the toilet from 11:59 to midnight. That way I could actually say same shit, different year.
See, there you
go. I mean, I could do that with any day also. Anyways, Anime Therapy Podcast. Yeah, Happy New Year's, everyone. It's 2023. We got some animes to talk about for last year. Got some anime to talk about for next year, or this year, I guess. And I guess we'll follow up on our tasks. I am interested to see, because we saw each other for New Year's, and you told me that you had progressed to a point where you were enjoying Twin Star Exorcist a little bit more.
Yeah. So I've watched half of the series at this point. So I'm at I watched episode 25.
Okay.
Overall, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I think it's not a bad series for the most part. The things that I like, so to kind of like hit my points from last time, I thought it was starting out a little slow, and I really didn't like Rokuro in the beginning, just because he's so like, I don't want to use my powers because I have trauma, you know, like.
Yeah. I don't want to save the world.
And Benio's, again, I'm not a huge fan for most shows when the main protagonist, one of the main protagonists is a tsundere.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say main protagonist, I mean like, if you had to name, you know, the top 2 or 3 characters that the show couldn't function without, like, that's the list I'm talking about.
Quick question. Quick question.
Yeah.
Is Bakugo a tsundere?
Nah, dude, he's just an ass.
Okay. Right. He's not like, it's not like I want to be friends with you, Baka.
No, it's I don't want to be friends with you because you suck.
Because
I'm better
yeah.
than you. Yeah.
Because I'm just better than you. Get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. So those were my initial kind of comments on it. I think the story got better with, you know, the introduction of, I think it's Yuno, Benio's brother, and how he's like, you know, hey, I'm a bad guy, you know, and Rokuro only had to go through all this trauma because I performed basically devil magic.
Yeah, an act of, it was just an act of just pure disgust from a moral standpoint. Yeah.
Right, yeah, and it's like, hey, you guys want to get stronger? It's like, yeah, we want to get stronger. I heard a yes. Okay, that's a yes. That's consent. They said they want to get stronger. I didn't say how I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah, a real genie he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, there's a lot of trauma that goes behind that, and it's like, oh, okay, you know, Rokuro definitely, and he got over that stuff pretty quickly when he confronted Yuno and his teacher, who I forget his name, but I love his character. It's just like, you know, basically like, hey, when you're pissed, you're worthless. Like, you're not fit to be an exorcist. Like, you can't control yourself, you know, and your resolve doesn't mean fucking anything because you're too weak to, you know, do anything about it.
Yeah, you're being a real Bakugo right now, so.
Right. Mm-hmm. All the while, like, he's supportive, and maybe I'm saying this because I'm playing God of War right now. The teacher seems like a real Kratos
Mhm.
figure to him, where it's just like
Tough love.
you just got tough love, yeah,
Yeah.
you know. Um,
Now, is this a put on the shelf for the future, maybe, or a drop, or is it a continue?
it's not a drop. I think I will finish it.
Okay.
Because I'm enjoying it now. I
Because
think
of a time skip, right?
yes. So one of the things that I am very happy about in this show is that the time skip really didn't take any time. There's basically a conversation that Rokuro has with the head exorcist, and he's like, "All right, I'll let you guys do it your way. You have 2 years. If you can't figure this shit out by 2 years, we're doing it my way." And 2 years goes by, right? There's no like
Training, there's
training
no,
montage. There's no like random missions that they're going on or anything like that.
There's no running up the
Because
Capitol stairs and like jumping, and there's none of that. It's just
frankly,
like,
I think for a show like this, like they weren't really introducing lots of characters until kind of the later part where I'm at right now. And it would be really stupid to like do training montages. There's not really a lot else to do
right.
in a world set up like this.
Yeah.
So,
And with main characters that are like, we already have our goal, all we need to do is get strong enough to do it. There's not really much you can do other than just either show the training of them getting stronger or just skip that shit just so we can get to the action of them getting as strong as they can be.
Also, like, yeah, I just completely agree with everything that you said, because for a show like let's say Naruto, you can do that to an extent. I still think shows like Naruto and Bleach overdo that. But you can still do it because the world is vast and you can show different parts of the world.
When you have world building like that, where
like,
Twin Star Exorcist has like very minimal world.
It's like, this is Tokyo and this is Magano.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Yeah. I feel like if they had told the story in a traditional shonen sense,
I would have dropped that shit so fast.
No. What I mean is like in the sense of actual world building first, right? Like you introduce your characters and then you get into the world building. Like Bagano would have. There's so much more to it that we don't end up really getting any taste of. Where it's such a cool concept and aesthetically very cool in my opinion. Like I love it almost feels like a Avernus, right, when they're there, and it's like this is really cool, but they don't ever like go into that world. Like had they done it that way, where they started off in that world and be like, kind of like in Death Note, like where it like literally the first episode starts in the Shinigami realm, and it's like, this is the world that Shinigamis are from, this is the power, these are the Shinigami, and then go into the real world. I think that would have been better for sure.
There's definitely a lot more they probably could do if they wanted to do a longer show like that. But it would have required more development in the beginning. And I think with how they started, I'm happy with what they've done so far, because for some shows it's like, okay, we're just gonna establish certain like ideals or places or
prophecies,
beliefs, prophecies as facts, right?
Yeah.
So Magano just exists. Like, it exists, it's here, it is basically where these devils find themselves. And
aesthetics wise, what do you feel? How do you feel about the art style, character design and stuff?
I think it's really cool. I think Magano is really cool. I think that I
like Rokuro's teeth. I like the sharp teeth.
Sure. There's something really funny about when they do like a special attack, and it like pops up all the Japanese characters, and then they do like the it's it's not like cool at all. It's just one of those things that just like makes me laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very Kill la Kill meets Power Rangers. It's like big flashy letters and then the power up, you know.
I will say it's cool. The one time I did think it was cool was when they first did it for when Benio and Rokuro did their like
Convert
twin star power together, their resonance.
Mhm.
And when they were both on there, I was like, oh, okay, that's sick. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was aesthetically pleasing. I didn't want to mention this before I recommended it to you, but I watched like most of it after I had surgery done. So I was on painkillers for a lot of it, so that's why I think I liked it so much, because I was just like, whoa, these visuals, you know, like I started it before the surgery, but after I had the surgery, all I did was just like it was like 7 and it was like from 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. to like 7 a.m. and I was just watching it just like on painkillers from surgery. So I think that's why I liked it so much. I haven't gone back and watched it since. I was 20, so like 30 years ago. No, like 7 years ago. So it was different.
Yeah. I mean that's certainly when you're on painkillers. It's certainly a different viewing experience for anything, right? Like, you're probably like, if you watch a scary anime, you're probably not like, oh whoa, like,
I'm like
popped out at me. You're just like, oh man, that's a gross worm.
Yeah,
Junji Ito, you crazy?
Yeah. It would be closer to be like, instead of being scared, I'd be like, that's gross.
Yeah.
You know, just like not ew.
I will say, so where I've like left off, the lion episode was really interesting, as sort of like a halfway point part, where it's like, so you're kind of at this midway point of, because they talked about it, where it's like, if devils are strong enough, they can become humans, basically. And this lion is kind of at that point, but he's still on the devil side, right? But he just wants to see something beautiful. And I was just like, that's really weird that, you know, this thing feels like an exception, right? And it was friendly to Sai, and I'll get to her in a second.
Okay.
But then ultimately, the lion gets shot by 2 of the 12 guardians that are just like, what are you guys doing? That's a devil. You're supposed to exercise.
Right.
You know.
What you're supposed to do versus what's morally right, and
Yeah, and Rokuro and Benny are just like, what?
Yeah. Well, and the devils are portrayed to be bad, so any devil you come across is bad. And
then Sai picks up the origami lion that she made him, and is like, you motherfuckers. Now speaking of Sai, she's cute, and I feel like the positive side of me feels like she's just introduced as a like, they're a family now, and this is what they would feel like if they were a family, you know? So getting baby experience. But something in my jimmies is just like, I don't trust this bitch.
Something's not right.
Yeah, something's not right. I don't know about this Saya girl, because they found her in Magano, right?
Right.
And it's like, and I know that they mentioned that, hey, there have been kids like that, like Rokuro, and it's like, yeah, you're trying to make us seem like it's okay, but it's not okay. This is like, put on the tinfoil hat.
Right.
We're gonna go like Charlie Day conspiracies.
Yeah. Yeah. Stop vaping, smoke cigarettes. Vaping or that's a reference to something else as a conspiracy theorist. I was gonna ask if you have met the child right? Like the kid.
Yeah.
Um, I was gonna be like, if you have, or if you haven't seen her yet, maybe like, well, they kind of try to do the whole loophole thing, right? Where it's like, the prophecy says that they will have a child. Well, this is their child, right? So that's the prophecy. That child will, you know, rid the world of all the devils. I thought that was a little iffy, even in my state of mind, where I was like, it's kind of ridiculous that they try to loophole it, but it also reminded me of first part of Sword Art Online, which, despite what you think of Sword Art Online, the first Sword Art Online game part is very good. The Yui, right, the daughter that they have, that it reminded me a lot of that. It's been so long since I've watched it, but I do remember feeling a little iffy on that. I mean, like, oh, we have a kid, prophecy.
No,
I don't know if it plays out that way or not. I don't remember.
Watch, it's gonna turn around and be like, they'll have a kid who eradicates all the devils, and it's gonna be Sai, but Sai is gonna eradicate all the devils, and her power is just gonna be like something stupid, like, I can absorb devil powers and then I become stronger. But I'm a human, but now I run this shit.
Yeah. It's like slight spoiler for Demon Slayer manga. It will only take a second, but if you don't want to hear a Demon Slayer manga, skip like 30 seconds. It's like the younger brother in Demon Slayer manga, where he's human but he eats.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. And we're done. Yeah. I was just like, that I feel like that's such a cop-out trope in animes, where it's like, oh, this opposing force is the main antagonist of the whole story, and then you have a character that's like, well, luckily for me, my power completely shits on them.
Specifically counters.
Yeah, specifically exactly. Like building a magic deck specifically to beat someone else's deck. It's like, all right, cool. I guess, you know, run with that or let it die. I don't know how you go. I feel like that's a jumping the shark moment of anime, where it's like, oh, well, I specifically counter. It basically frustrates power scalers. It's like,
it happens in video games, I feel like, more often than anime, where it's like, God, man, there's this villain we gotta try and defeat. Like, I don't know how we're gonna do this. And it's like, well, did you know that there's a weapon that can single strike destroy this villain?
Yeah.
It's long foretold in prophecy, and it's like
the sword of 1,000 truths.
in South Park.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what he needs to beat him. Well, you say you'll continue it. Is it gonna be like a finish it before anything else, or is it just gonna be like?
It'll probably be like a when I want to go back to it. Like I gave it a 6 last time, so I'd probably bump it up to a 7. And depending on how it ends, it might either drop or you know, stay the same. If the ending's just a super banger, you know, then maybe it gets knocked up.
I could tell you this. It's not a Blue Exorcist ending, despite them both being Exorcist shows. Blue Exorcist ending was like, oh, the manga is there? Nah. We're just gonna create some bullshit.
Yeah, that's always rough when that happens, but...
Yeah. Well, you gave me a task. Your task specifically was cry before the New Year's.
I did, yeah, so...
And I hate to break it to you, but I failed that task. I didn't cry.
I know. You almost died, but you...
I thought I was dying, but, you know, I didn't cry. I cried from almost dying, but no.
Folks, I gave him the task to watch Anohana, and he went to the hospital that same week. That's a true statement.
The statement is true. The statement is true. The statement is not false. It's not a paradox. I did go to the hospital that week, and I thought I was gonna die. But 2 days after leaving the hospital, I decided to sit down and watch it all. And
you know who did actually die?
No one. no one died the entire show. It just started with this girl's already dead.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, all right. Probably could have done first episode. I don't know. They never fucking. Okay. So my problem with Anohana is that they never actually showed her die. They just talked about the fact that she died. And then towards the end, Popo, what was it? It's not, was it Popo? What's the character that I like? The big guy, anyways.
Oh,
yeah,
I don't.
Because I keep wanting to say Pa from Tokyo Revengers, but because in English I hear Pa and I'm like, oh, that's his nickname, like Papa, like Big Papa, but it's Pa, like an actual fucking Chinese name. So,
it's like Popo, right?
Yeah. Okay, it is Popo. I'm saying Popo and I'm thinking Popo from Dragon Ball. So they never actually show her die. They just showed at the end of the show that he reveals a secret that he saw her in the lake and was too scared and ran away and didn't save her, which was, that sucks. Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Anohana was fucking boring in my opinion. I'm sorry, but I thought it was.
That's okay.
I thought it was really boring, but I watched it all and like, I didn't cry, but at the very last episode, I got teary-eyed. I started to water up. I was like, this is like the whole hide and seek thing. We're gonna play hide and seek. She like starts to like not be able to be seen by him because she's fading away, and he freaks out because he can't see her, but he can hear her, and she's like, we're gonna play hide and seek, and then they're all out there. She's at the tree, and I'm getting chills on my legs. They're like,
it's a good scene.
Yeah, she leaves the notes for everybody, and she's like, I love you all, and like that hit me. That I was like, wow, oh my god, like that, I'm gonna teary-eyed, you know. But like, I think if I enjoyed the show all the way up until that point, I would have cried. But up until that point, I was like, it moved really fast. So I think that's why I didn't feel so much connection, was because it moved so fast. But do you remember her name? The one that I told you, I was like, oh, she's the best. She's the one with the like brown hair and the two pigtails. Shinuru? Honoru.
It's Honoru.
Honoru. Love her. She was so cute. Loved her. She was great.
She gets the orange hair glow up when she's older.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. No glasses. Yeah. The one dude in the friend group who cross-dresses as her because he's feeling like torn up about the fact that like she died, and he feels bad because he and Honoru had the ploy to like ask the question, and that he feels like that resulted in her dying, and he felt it was his fault. So he cross-dresses as her, and they find her.
God, I forgot what that person's name was.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was only 11 episodes. I didn't get a lot of time to remember people's names.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that I kind of liked about Anohana, was just how fast it did go, because
I watched it all in a single day. I was like, all right, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate if you're only gonna have one season, like, make it quick.
Yeah.
You know, like,
these single season 24 episode shit, I'm like, fuck out of here. Like, give me either more or give me less, okay? I'm not satisfied. Yeah, and I think it's hilarious that the girl who died in Anohana, the one that everything's based off of, her name is Naruto. I mean, I'm sorry, Menma. They kept saying Menma, and all I could think was Naruto. It was a sweet. From a critical standpoint, it was sweet. It was a good story. I can understand the emotional impact. I just personally did not resonate with it as much. I thought the whole "we found you" screaming at the end and they're all crying on their own, that got me. That I didn't cry, but I was like, oh my god. Ooh, this is kind of tough, you know. Um,
I,
I love the character design for all of them, but also the main character. I really like his character design. It reminded me of Eden of the East a little bit.
okay.
Even though they're very different art styles, the main character had that like long, kind of nappy black hair and kind of generic face.
I think that like so a couple things I'll say about Anohana. I think that last scene is really good for me because they kind of, in their own ways, repress their grief a
Mhm.
bit up until that last episode, and this hasn't happened to me, but I do understand that this is a thing. Like sometimes when something terrible happens, like the loss of a loved one or something like that,
Yeah.
you will either consciously or subconsciously decide to not process it because it's painful, or you don't want to acknowledge that it actually happened, or a whole multitude of reasons, right?
Yeah.
And then you could be doing anything really, like the hide and seek scene, like you're saying, and all of a sudden you come to that realization, like it's gone,
Yeah.
like,
They all
that,
finally see her. Yeah.
yeah,
Right before she
and
does.
it's like, and that wave of emotion can just hit you anywhere, and it's like, dang, okay, now I am outwardly experiencing my grief.
Yeah. And dealing
So,
with it, yeah, in a healthy light, yeah. Because all
but
the characters are dealing with the grief in a bad way. Like Popo, he just like straight up drops out of school and lives in the hideout in the forest. You know, that's not healthy. And
no.
Honoru surrounding herself with shitty friends, like they're just bad people, and she just surrounds herself with them because she feels like, well, I am also a bad person for hating Menma, this girl who died, right? Jinta, the main guy, and then Yukaitsu. I don't remember his nickname because they all had nicknames, but Yukaitsu is the guy that cross-dressed. I pulled it up here.
Okay.
Yeah. I should probably keep something in front of OBS so I stop looking at us there and start looking at you.
That's fine.
Yeah. So, critically speaking, I can compare it to other, like, tragic slice of lives, right? And, like, those kinds of stories. Not the highest, I would say, for me. I think there are better ones, personally. I would probably give it a 6 in that respect.
Okay.
But as far as an anime as a whole, I think if you're into this kind of story, I think it was very well done. I would give it at least a 7.5. I'd be like, it was done well. The art's good. It's short and sweet. I like that. And the character designs are good. The music was good. So, say 7.5 and 8 maybe if you twist my arm into it.
Sure.
But compared to other slice of lives that I've watched, it didn't hit the mark for me. But I wouldn't say don't watch it.
I do think, and this is another thing with just pop culture in general that I think is pretty interesting. You'll have something in this case like Anohana, right? So I watched it when I was just starting to get an anime, right?
Oh,
Where it was like, so there's more.
It's that old?
Yeah.
Oh,
So like there.
I thought it was new.
So when I think it's like a 2010.
I got it right here. It
Anime,
is
yeah. Let's check
2011
the numbers. 2011. Okay.
Oh.
So that's senior year of high school for me, right? So, so that
Wow, you're old.
is. Yeah, I know, dude. It's crazy. So as I'm starting to like dive into anime more outside of like shonens, basically, where it's like, hey, give me recommendations for other things because there's other types of stories, right?
Oh yeah,
And Anohana was one of those that I got recommended from one of our good friends, and it was like, you'll cry, and I was like, all right, sure. And I watched it, and it's the first type of story in anime that was like that, and so I was just like, damn, that this hits.
Yeah,
Now,
that really hits
now,
me where I breed.
mhm, it does. Now, but for you, it's like you've seen like so many different types of anime at this point,
Hmm.
and you know, I think there are some special things about Anohana, but
Yeah,
if you break it down, it's a character dies and other characters are figuring out how to deal with it.
yeah.
Not a foreign concept to anime. Uh,
Yeah, and I understand the storytelling aspect of she's already dead, and this is a story of them growing up and dealing with the grief of someone who already died. If they reversed it where it was the kids the whole time, and then on the 11th episode she died, and then finish out the season as them older and dealing with it, it would have probably hit me harder because I was invested in these characters. Where 11 episodes wasn't enough to be invested in these characters that already experienced the thing that happened before the start of the story. But I will say them visiting her mom at the first time they visit her mom, she's like so loving, right? And then the second time they interact with her and ask her questions about Menma, she completely changes, and they realize that she hates them for not protecting her daughter. That was a switch that, again, they introduced a character, had a moment, and then it changed later. That I really liked because I was able to see the characters before and after, or the character before and after. That hit hard. That definitely hit hard.
I mean, she was definitely in the anger phase at that point. Like, you know,
Years and years later, which is just so tough. And Menma's brother, right, being like, "Hey, I'm still your kid too, in case you forgot." That also hit hard. Really, it was like, damn. As someone who has siblings, both of us have siblings. Even if that didn't happen, it's still a concept that we can understand of a sibling getting more attention than us.
I do feel like that that could be the case too, because I feel like there's, kind of one or two ways you can take it. Like, sibling child dies, you have other children, so you're kind of changing your mindset to, I still have one of my kids has died, and that's really tragic, but I still have two healthy living children that,
Right.
I'm not going to squander the time that I have with them here. But unfortunately, in this series, it's like, you know, mom became so hyper focused on Emma being gone that it's like,
She didn't leave the house. She kept making food for her. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think overall, it's a good story. I think I gave it an 8 on
On Mal.
my list. Yeah. Because I was just like, it's good. I think it storytells well.
I think it's funny what you said about when you start off and you get recommended things. When I started off, I started with Naruto and Bleach and Gurren Lagann, and then like Samurai Champloo, Cowboy Bebop, Sword Art Online, and then probably that same friend who we won't say his name, but Zodiac, he gave me a very different list of things to watch, like Queen's Blade and High School DxD, and I was like, "Hey, I like this shit. All right, cool."
No, I got it recommended from the old King guy.
Oh, got it.
mhm.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. That makes more sense though, because
Mhm.
if you got recommendations from Zodiac, he would just be like, "Oh yeah, watch Sekirei and all these."
Have you looked at boobs?
Yeah. Hey, you like boobs? Well, cool. Yeah, I'm down with your how you feel about Twin Star Exorcist. And yeah, Anohana was it. I wouldn't say that I disliked watching it. I feel like I have to clarify that I didn't dislike the anime. I didn't dislike watching it. It just didn't. It didn't pizzazz me, right? I've been pizzazzed by other animes a lot more in that same realm, like Code Geass. I don't know if we've ever mentioned that anime before, but
I don't think so
Yeah.
on this podcast.
oh well, I'm watching it again right now. So
And is it as good as you remember?
even better. Gets
Even
better every time I watch it.
Yeah.
Well, I did want to talk about, since it is the new year, we're going to talk about, I wanted to ask you personally, before we looked at any list, before we go through any of the lists, I just wanted to ask you, like, what you thought some of the best animes of this year were. Any ones that stick out to you?
Best anime of this year. Okay.
Yeah, let's just do like best anime of the year. Do you think?
Ooh. I'm gonna pull up Crunchyroll real quick just to go through.
Haikyuu season 5.
Get it? Haikyuu drop. All right, we got it real quick.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, so
Attack on Titan season 4 part 3.
and Attack on Titan did come out this year. Okay.
We got like Mob Psycho, we got Chainsaw Man, we got Blue Lock, we got Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
I'm gonna give you a few.
Yeah.
Just going. I'm gonna like look through. All right, I'll tell you which season it was into, right? So first one that I'm looking at is Winter 2022. Couple fucking nice bangers on here. My Dress Up Darling,
Yes.
I think was fantastic.
So good.
Such a good anime. And another one that I see on here, Ranking of Kings. I loved.
I
Ranking
still
of
haven't
Kings.
watched it. Yeah.
Dude, it's so good. Bochi, dude, my guy.
I've heard amazing things about that anime. I really have.
Man,
The list I
it's
was
such
looking
a-
at had My Dress Up Darling, and I was like, absolutely. But that was winter, so I'm like, oh man, all these other things have come out.
So now, yeah, so I'm moving over to spring as far as, what is on here and what I watched. Third season of Kaguya-sama.
Okay,
Oh,
all right.
man, it was so good. Finally, we got the thing that everybody was waiting for.
Finally,
so,
some good fucking soup.
Yeah, finally. That's all I see from here that I watched. Oh,
Spy Family?
I did. Yeah, Spy Family was there. Oh yeah. Why is Spy Family not on my watch list?
I don't know,
guess
but
I'm
Spy
just
Family was this year.
Yes, Spy Family's great.
I wanted to.
I will.
Sorry, we also had Mob Psycho 100 season 3 last year, but I don't think either of us have watched it yet.
I haven't watched it yet. No. I need to sit down. It's been a long time since I've watched Mob Psycho, and I would probably want to start from the beginning again, just to like get back in that headspace.
That's fair. Second season of Made in Abyss.
I haven't watched that yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it as Made in Abyss as the first season, or is it worse?
I don't know. I haven't seen either. I've never seen it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't seen it? Okay.
No, I've never watched it. Demon Slayer Entertainment District arc was also winter. Which
Oh, that was winter too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
was winter.
Oh, yep, that was winter.
We got
no.
Cyberpunk Edge Runners, which I've heard is just so bad. No, I'm kidding.
Dr. Stone, season 3, I think, was
I didn't even know there was a season 3
this year too. And then
of course, Chainsaw Man.
It might have been season 2. Yeah, I mean Chainsaw Man for sure.
Bleach,
then,
1,000 Year or Blood War arc.
I am almost done with that.
Should I watch it
I'll talk more
next week?
once I'm done with it.
Yeah, next week we'll get into some shonens and stuff.
The Devil is a Part-Timer season 2. Ooh.
Did that finish last year?
Yeah, I believe it's done.
Okay.
Yeah, 12 episodes. That's what it's doing.
And
Unless, yeah, because they did 13 first season.
okay. And how could we forget one of the best animes to come out last year, Uncle from Another World?
Oh my God, Uncle from Another World.
Did you watch
Insane.
it?
No.
It's on Netflix. It's so fucking funny, dude. It's so
Really?
funny. It's an isekai, sort of. But it's like the uncle, right? The main character. Did you ever watch Prison School?
Yeah, I've watched Prison
Do you
School.
remember the long-haired glasses, ugly, nerdy dude?
Mhm.
Basically, the uncle of that anime looks exactly like him, but even uglier. But
Nice.
it's still a harem isekai. So, when they refer to him as uncle, and he's like, and he gets truck cooned. So it's like, there's that added part of it, but it's so bad, but it was also so entertaining. That's what I wanted to mention earlier before we started. I was like, Uncle from Another World was, oh god.
I will say that I think, like, kind of just scrolling through, you know, the Crunchyroll list. I know that there are others, you know, that come out, Hulu, Netflix, you know, all these other streaming programs now. Like, you know, Crunchyroll isn't only the hub for the shit anymore. I think that this year was pretty good.
Yeah.
For anime. I don't, you know, it's not like a 2010 banger, you know, year.
Right.
But
2010 was kind of the high point of anime.
I think so too. There are probably a couple other years if I like look through that.
2011,
probably...
20 like right after 2010, animes like were up here, and then it slowly started to go down with the isekai genre just you know, being overabundance in 2012.
I would have to look through. That'd be an interesting topic of conversation. Is like rank the years for anime. Be interesting to talk about that. I do think that.
Quintessential quintuplets movie.
Oh well, So I didn't think that would be on like the list or something like that, but it's on my list.
Yeah.
There are a few things that I haven't mentioned that like.
I mean, that's 2022
really,
though. You know?
It is 2022.
And that wasn't even on the list. I'm just thinking of things. Yeah. I mean, this website, random website, I guess I'll say, it's called escapistmagazine.com. They had a top 10. It was Akiba Maid War. I don't know it. Birdie Wing, Golf Girls Story. A sports anime.
What is that?
It's a sports anime about Eve, a competitive golfer who's mostly competes in betting matches for wealthy socialites, seeking a rematch against the woman who beat her and developing a friendly rival. It's Happy Gilmore, but with a girl in anime, pretty much.
Dude, I'd watch that. Wait a minute.
Yeah, she kind of looks like Violet Evergarden. She's got like blue eyes, blonde hair. Chainsaw Man, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Entertainment District Arc of Demon Slayer, Made in Abyss Season 2, Mob Psycho, Dress Up Darling, Spy Family, and Uncle from Another World. That was on their top 10 list of 2022 animes.
They had Uncle from Another World on the top 10.
Yeah, I'd probably swap it. If we were gonna go with a Netflix original ridiculous fucking anime, I'd probably swap that with the Romance Killer one. A Romantic Killer. Yeah. But hey, I mean, Escapists, they are, you know, prestige.
I don't know. Some of those picks are pretty suspicious, but hey, you know, we'll see.
JoJo's Part 6. Yeah.
I actually haven't watched that yet.
But, dude.
I'll do it.
It's so good.
It's Jolene, right?
It's Jolene, yeah. Jolene Cujo. Yeah. Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2. Lycoris Recoil. Chainsaw Man.
Bocchi the Rock was this
Bocchi
year,
the Rock. It's right here.
And that anime is really, really good.
So says our friend who doesn't watch anime.
I do agree with our alcoholic friend that Itachi the Rock is a fantastic anime.
I didn't say that, but
Love you, buddy. You know who you are.
yeah. It's fine. He's not gonna watch this.
I know.
Yeah, and then Bleach, Spy Family, Bleach, My Dress Up Darling. It's so fucking good. I want that
will
second
say,
season.
I'm gonna throw out a Spy Family adjacent anime. The Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting
I've
is
heard of
actually
that one.
really funny.
Yeah.
And it came out when it was like Spy Family in spring, Yakuza in summer, and then we have Spy Family again.
Yeah.
So
Oh, a new season just dropped. I want to say today or yesterday of Way of the House Husband on Netflix.
I haven't watched that, but I've heard the manga's like really good.
Well, so the anime is short episode style, so the episodes are like 5 to 10 minutes, and it's not
Love it.
It's not anime. It's more like a moving scene, like a scene of like moving and talking, where it'll be like a picture of something, and then like there's movement and animation, but it's not like they're walking and talking, right? It's unique for sure, but also Way of the House Husband is just this grumpy, like scary looking Yakuza man in an apron cooking dinner. It's great. Kaguya-sama Love is War, ultra romantic right here, number 11.
Hey, that took over Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood this year, so you know.
Yeah, there you go. Wait,
But
it
the
did?
FMA yeah, it did. As the number one anime, yeah. It overtook it on Mal.
Was that the same
for-
thing that you said the other week? I thought that was...
Yeah. No. So Bleach is number one right now.
Okay. Oh, FMAB is number 3?
FMAV is no. So Kaguya-sama dropped.
Oh, okay.
FMA is number 2. Kaguya-sama is number 3.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
This is how close it is. So Bleach is a 9.14. FMA is a 9.11, and
Oh.
Kaguya-sama is a 9.88, tied with Steins Gate.
Oh, hey, there you go. Steins Gate, so good. I'm so glad I
So when
finished that.
people say Steins Gate is confusing, fuck you.
Hey, not me. I don't think it was confusing. I just didn't care for it.
Because you're dumb.
No. I understand what they were doing, and the whole like I love that. That's just so great to hear every episode. Rust Eater Bisco. It kind of looks like My Hero Academia a little bit. Never heard of it.
Who?
Yeah. Who? Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. That was 2022.
That is a good one, but I think More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers is better.
Okay. Yeah, you have a lot of stuff to recommend me because I haven't watched any of these.
A lot of this stuff is like, newer stuff, so it's only like 12, 24 episodes, and I know you've mentioned you wanted something a little longer, but that's why I gave you Tokyo Revengers, because it was like,
Oh, dude.
if you wanted to like read the manga after that, like,
Well, it was the anime that made me want to read the manga afterwards. I definitely gotta do that. I'm just gonna finish out this list real quick. They did 22 best anime 2022. So they had Made in Abyss season 2. They had Overlord season 4, which I think they're just grasping at straws at this point.
sure.
Doctor
Where
Stone.
is Ranking of Kings here?
I thought I saw it earlier. Oh yeah, Ranking of Kings was 10.
Okay.
Under My Dress Up Darling.
Okay.
Dr. Stone Ryusei. I'm seeing the thumbnail right now and he looks like a friggin' pirate with blonde hair. That looks like Senku, but it also doesn't look like Senku. I don't know. I'm very far behind. The Orbital Children. I'm guessing it's kids that go into space. Kids that go into space. If I were to rename it the way that anime is named, 5 kids go out into space together. So what? Tiger and Bunny 2, which I've heard of, and Blue Lock number 19.
Blue Lock, man. I think that's gonna be a
contender.
good sports anime.
It's a contender. Mob Psycho 100 season 3, Tomodachi game, which I don't know. It sounds like a Darwin's game kind of thing.
Yeah, when I saw that anime, like the thing for it, I was like, is this just another King's game? I'm not watching this. This is bullshit. Like,
yeah, well, it looks like King's game / Darwin's game. It like straight up looks like that. At number 22, there's no fucking way they did. I watched this anime. First off, let me say this. I watched the anime for the boobs, right? This anime fucking sucked. And they put number 22, World's End Harem, which it was not good. I watched it and I was like, wow, this is literally just like softcore shmentai with like an apocalypse aspect to it, like a bio apocalypse where all the men are killed from a disease that kills men.
For one, right?
Except for a few, right? And the main character is one of them. This anime sucked. And they put it number 20 or 22. That's why I was saying that they are grasping at straws here.
Yeah.
Kind of ridiculous. That just makes me laugh. I mean, I'm currently working on I haven't done anything recording or writing wise, but I'm working on a project where I'm gonna like talk about, you know, the boobalicious animes and like where they stand on like if they're actually worth watching if you actually enjoy a story in these kinds of shows, because some of these shows actually have good stories to them.
It like High School DxD.
High School DxD's story is it's iffy. It's iffy.
It's a decent story. I was like, I definitely started watching that for like boobs.
Yeah.
But then I was like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Why am I invested in these people now? Like,
what I think makes High School
put those
DxD
boobs away.
Yeah. Like, ew, get.
Show me the story.
Yeah. Hey, show me your story. That would be so much hotter.
Yeah, what's your backstory?
Yeah. I think High School DxD's story is okay. I think they excel in the booby aspect, right? I think they excel in that, where the art is good, the character designs are good, the waifus themselves are actually interesting characters and not just dummies, right?
Actually, you know, an anime just came to mind. You know what's a good anime where you do get to see some boobs in it?
Can I guess? Let me guess.
Yeah,
what
sure.
Are you thinking Elfen Lied?
I'm not. It's Code
Geass. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that. If you're not watching it on Netflix, because they censor everything.
Right. Yeah.
By the way, we're almost done here, but let me just. There's a character that I hate so much in Code Geass, and it's not a character that like really did anything wrong in the aspect of what Code Geass is about. But it's one of the girls, the student girls that has the nerdy hair and the glasses, who gets saved by Euphemia after they get taken hostage. I hate her. She sucks. She is like, all she does is obsess about Euphemia the whole time. Yep. And then when Euphemia dies, she's like, her brain snaps and she goes crazy. And I'm like, I can't empathize with you because you're such a simp. Like, just the biggest. Before simp was a thing, she's the biggest simp.
The tier 3 sub to Euphemia.
Oh,
for sure.
100%. 100%. And as I'm watching it on Netflix, they censor, some of the boobs. And it's not overly in your face about it. It's not like High School DxD where that's the whole point. But
you see boobs twice in Code Geass.
Yeah. But they also
once from Callan and once from C2. Like, that's
No. Euphemia.
It was it Euphemia, not C2? Or...
I don't think you ever see C2 like that. You see.
I thought it was C2, but
no. Remember,
you watched it more recently.
Remember when he uses the Code Geass on his buddy and tells him that you have to live on the island, right? And then they wake up on the island together, and it's Euphemia and Zero, and she has no clothes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's Lelouch. Like, she knows that it's Lelouch. I remember that scene very well. Because I just saw
the Callan. I remember the Callan one.
Oh
more.
yeah, in the shower. Yeah. Oh my god, my lord.
There's one where she's fighting too. Well.
There are a lot of shots that are from the back where it's just her ass. You know.
Oh yeah, I mean.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say was they also censored a scene with that character that I'm talking about. I forget her name. But after she gets saved by Euphemia, in the next like episode or two, like you're shown that she's like obsessing over her. And there's a scene where she's just in like the club room alone, and it's dark, and there's just a picture of Euphemia, and she's just like basically touching herself.
Going to town.
Yeah, going to town. It's completely blacked out with no audio. Like, she's silhouetted, blacked out, no audio. And then, you know, Nonali like rolls in. She's like, "Are you okay? I thought I heard you were struggling." And she's like, "No, I'm fine." Like, God, this chick, I can't stand her. But Liam O'Brien voices the gray-haired scientist that is in charge of that created the Lancelot robot.
Hey, look at that! I don't know that because I've only seen it in Japanese. So.
Yeah. I watched it in both. But I'm also watching it in English with subtitles on, and I'm like, it's pretty different. Like, they actually change a lot of what's said.
What's better? Is it subbed or dubbed for Code Geass?
I think subbed is the best way to watch it for sure.
Okay, see, there you go.
I really like the English voice acting in it. I believe Lelouch is voiced by the same guy that voices Ichigo. Ichigo and Lelouch. Yeah, Johnny Young Bosch. He, you know, the Power Ranger from back when we were kids.
Nice.
Yeah, I believe he was the Red Power Ranger, but yeah, he voices Ichigo, Lelouch, lots and lots of characters. He has a great voice too. But yeah, Code Geass is great. What was this? Oh yeah. You're like.
So then, let's bring it back. So, if you had to put something at the top of your list, because I haven't really watched many, you know.
Oh, Boobalicious.
Like, what has a good story but also gives you some culture, you know?
Well, my number one favorite. The story isn't really what's important. It's the relationship between the guy and the harem. Because he is very much a wholesome dude and just an overall great guy that almost keeps getting killed because of how much these girls are like trampling him. But it's because that they're monster girls, so they're literally about to kill him. So Monster Musume would be my number one. And then, I mean, as far as story, I mean, who doesn't love a good zombie action? Right, like High School of the Dead is pretty fucking good.
I have seen that. Yeah. The jiggle physics, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Sekirei is up there. Freezing is up there. Queen's Blade I watched at the very beginning of me watching anime. That was like the first thing recommended to me. Queen's Blade has like 5 seasons, and I didn't even watch them all. But Queen's Blade is okay. But there was one that I was gonna. Did you ever see Infinite Stratos?
I did not, but I heard that was pretty bad.
I think Infinite Stratos was actually pretty good. It wasn't as much of a like a High School DxD, but there's some. But Infinite Stratos is definitely like, these mechs can only be used by women, but then there's one guy who can use it. That trope. Oh, War on Geminar, Tenchi Muyo, War on Geminar, for sure is.
No idea what that is.
A great one. That one's actually a good. If we were talking story with plot, with some fan service, Tenchi Muyo, War on Geminar is a very good story and a very lovable main character. Yeah, I would recommend that.
All right, nice.
Which it's funny because when we got into the tasks, I was gonna task you with Sekirei, but it's a boobalicious anime and it's like kind of bad, but like, but it's also fun. You know, I'm rewatching it right now actually.
Hey, you know, if that's what you want me to watch, that's what you want me to watch.
No, that's not gonna be my task for you.
Okay.
But go ahead and give me something because I've been dying to watch something new. So I've just been like rewatching these animes that I've already watched, and I just want to watch something new that you recommend.
So you haven't seen Ranking of Kings, right?
No.
I would recommend that then.
Okay.
I think Ranking of Kings is probably in my top 5 for 2022. You've
Okay.
already seen My Dress Up Darling, so
Yeah.
you know I'm not gonna recommend that.
If you haven't seen Dress Up Darling yet, what the fuck are you doing? Watch it.
Very true. I agree with that sentiment. Yeah, I mean, I'll be interested to hear what you have to say about Ranking of Kings, but overall, I really love Boji as a character, and I think the story is super cool.
Is that the one? That's the one that has like the little baby-looking kid with the crown.
He's
yeah,
he's
the
a little
cape.
baby, and he's deaf. Yeah.
And he's deaf.
He's
Oh, I
deaf.
didn't know that. All right,
Yeah.
hit me where it hurts. Okay, cool. What's it called again? I'm sorry, Ranking of Kings. Okay.
Ranking of Kings, yeah.
For some reason, I kept getting Ranking of Kings visuals mixed up with Kotaro Lives Alone. Have you watched Kotaro Lives Alone?
I don't think I have.
That's on Netflix. It's just the visuals are very much like it's like a cute little kid, but he also has like long slits for pupils. They have black hair, bowl cut. Kotaro Lives Alone.
Oh, okay. I see.
That when people talk about Ranking of Kings, they also talk about this. Not that they're similar, but that they're both like, you should definitely watch them. Like, Kotaro Lives Alone is a slice of life comedy, where Ranking of Kings, I'm guessing, is fantasy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Cool. But I haven't watched Kotaro Lives Alone either, so I would have to watch that, and I'll let you know. But my recommendation for you is gonna be Trigun.
Yeah, I figured. I had it up on my Crunchyroll thing already.
Yeah, you did. Trigun. So you went with an anime that came out this last year, and I said, nah,
No.
going to 1997, baby. Or 1998 is the original run. And there's also one movie as well. Movie actually came out in 2010.
Trigun Badlands Rumble.
That's the movie, yeah.
Yeah. Trigun Stampede is coming out this next what is it? Next season.
The original run already started in Japan, but we don't get it for a little bit because it started January 7th, which was yesterday. Oh, interesting. Is it gonna be like? Is it like a Hunter x Hunter or like a Hellsing? I almost said Hellsing Abridged. Hellsing Ultimate or whatever. Is that?
Actually, Trigun Stampede is the CG remake of the classic 90s anime.
Okay.
And pretty good reviews so far. So, fully CG animated retelling of Studio Madhouse's 90s science film anime Trigun.
No. No, I'm
No.
looking at pictures of him right now, and they made him a fuckboy. This is an Edge Runners fuckboy looking dude. No! Don't do this to my boy, Vasha Stampede. Watch the original.
Yeah, no, I'll be watching the original,
Okay.
don't worry.
Oh, this hurts, dude. He legit just looks like the main character of Edge Runners, which bothers me. Oh,
You know what I'm gonna do? I love that the first episode is what, the $60 billion man.
Yes.
Like that's the title of it. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
we're off to the races. Like,
Yeah. Do you know Rurouni Kenshin? Have you watched that?
I do know that. I don't think I've seen it yet.
Okay. Do you know the concept of Rurouni Kenshin?
I do, yeah.
Okay. Trigun does it better. It's the same
Okay.
concept, but with guns instead of samurai swords, and I think Trigun does it better than Rurouni Kenshin. But Rurouni Kenshin is also a sequel story under a different name to Samurai X, which is Rurouni Kenshin's original story, and then Rurouni Kenshin starts, and it's like the aftermath of Samurai X. But yeah, Trigun, I really like it. It's a bop. It's a classic, you know.
Yeah, I honestly haven't watched a 90s anime in like probably like 10 years.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool to like see that animation style again.
Yeah, why not start off the new year of 2023 with a 1998 anime, right?
Yeah. Let's go 15 years back with, oh wait, no, 25 years back? Oh man.
Yeah, 25.
If it came out in 98, that's
24 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're in 2023. Yeah, 2025. Okay. Yeah, I'll be excited to hear what you think of it. It's one of my personal favorites. I like Trigun a lot. It's like my girlfriend said at the party, the girls are drawn like brick shit houses. Like they are just weirdly proportioned and
whatever, man. It's about the boys.
It is.
Yeah.
It's about my boy Bash the Stampede. Like that's all that we need to know.
Look, I'm looking at Trigun. So if you look at Trigun on Crunchyroll, the picture is just him with a gun.
Yeah.
Like, if this anime cared about any, women or any other characters, they would have put it on the fucking poster, right? Like, this doesn't feel like some goddamn, 2020 anime poster style where it's like, here are all of the characters you'll meet this season on it.
No.
Demon Slayer.
Yeah, right? Like the Star Wars Avengers fucking
Avengers Endgame.
Yeah. All the characters. Dude, that picture of Trigun though is sick. Like, he looks so cool. Also, since you've been on Crunchyroll, real quick, as we wrap this up, did you see the Nier Automata?
Yep, I did.
Okay, alright. I still need to play it, but
we'll see how that goes, but
Yeah. I mean, watch out, Rule 34. I mean, if you thought you had content before, you're about to get a shit ton more.
Yeah, 2B about to be, 2 double Ds, if you know what I mean.
To be or not to be on my dick, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Alright, well, what a note to end it on.
So much shame here.
Yeah. So.
Our parents love us.
That hurt more than Anohana. All right, quick audience recommendation. High School DxD. If you haven't watched it, check it out. Lots of plot. Based on real quick. Based on a light novel. There's no manga of it. I didn't know that.
Okay.
I went to Barnes and Noble and I was like, I'd like to start picking up the manga for this. Only light novels. I think they might have just started doing manga for it, but and a new season's coming out this year, so yeah.
Don't think I've recommended this yet, but Mushoku Tensei, if you haven't watched it, I would watch it. I think just again based off a light novel,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think there's like 22 light novels of this thing at this point, so
Jeez.
it ain't slowing down.
How many seasons do you think they'll make before they stop?
The first season did really well. Alright, and with a guess, so it's a 24 episode season, so I'm gonna say they're gonna make more than 3 seasons.
Total.
Yes, I will say more than 3.
Do you think they're gonna transition to 12, 13 episode seasons?
I think that's what most anime studios are doing with this sort of stuff, so that wouldn't surprise me. If they stuck to 24 episodes though, damn, farm that content.
Yeah. Looking forward to anything this year? Coming out this year?
Um, I am looking forward to hopefully more of Blue Lock. I'm really enjoying that right now. Hopefully more of Chainsaw Man as well. But I don't know if they're gonna do more this year. I haven't read anything, to be
Yeah.
honest,
Based
about
on
it.
what we talked about last time, it seems iffy if they're gonna make any more, which would bum me out because I would love to see more.
I would like season 3 of ReZero, if we could get that. That would be really cool.
Hey, I've watched that one. Nice.
Second season of Horimiya would be cool.
Oh yeah, no. Leave it how it is.
probably
I'm
not getting
done.
that. Yeah, you're good. Okay.
I'm good, dude. They wrapped it up. I'm fine with it. They don't need to shoehorn it anymore. They don't need to do an Overlord.
There's like 15 volumes of Horimiya, so you know, maybe they'll do more.
Demon Slayer.
Yep.
Demon
I was
Slayer.
getting to that, but that's kind of like
Okay,
everybody's
yeah. Everybody
Slayer.
knows that's coming out.
Yeah. Tokyo Revengers season 2.
Yes, yes. Let's
I'm
go.
super stoked for that.
Season 5 of The World God Only Knows, please. Like, come on. I'm still here. Still wanting. I love that anime, dude. I gotta update my top 50.
Thank you. Yeah.
I gotta update my top 50. It's definitely going in there. I love
I'm
that.
glad
anime.
you really liked it.
Yeah.
I really like that anime.
Yeah,
Like,
dude. 2010, just full of bangers, dude. Cool. Well, thank you all for joining us for episode 14 of Anime Therapy Podcast. We laughed, we loved, we got those L's. And yeah, watch Trigun. I'm gonna watch Ranking of Kings. I got it. See, sorry, I'm kind of slow. And yeah, I got a hot take for you.
all right, let's hear it.
The new Bastion Stampede looks like shit.
I don't know that, so okay.
That's for everybody else out there. So, yeah. Adios.
Agree.